Mrs. Naila Saeed, it's so pleasure to having you here. May I ask you to introduce yourself?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. And this is an honor for me. And I'm representing here International Council of Indian Muslim as well, Canadian Council of Indian Muslims. So I'm the vice president for both the organization.
Okay, thank you. My first question is that there is incurred risk of being Muslim individual in India. Could you tell us about how the prejudice affects the everyday of Muslim people in India?
Absolutely. This is a nightmare that it's almost been more than a decade, like Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the ruling party, the Bharatiya Janata Party, have moved to limit Muslim rights and freedom. Rights to live, right to equality, right to freedom of expression, freedom of raising their voice against injustices, freedom to live their life as an Indian Muslim. And it has, if anybody try to even raise about any injustices, they have to face serious repercussions. And this has been throughout their regime that we have seen it, how they have faced it on the ground. And it has been horrible right now that I would say it is something really serious to be considered.
Okay, thank you so much for your answer. My another question is that most Muslim people are worried about the aggressive assertion of the caste system of Muslim identity. Has there always been a history of fear concerning asserting a Muslim identity, or is a more recent phenomenon?
It says that this is something that India is home to some 200 million of Muslims and one of the world's largest Muslim population. And Muslims have been facing systematic discrimination, prejudice, violence, and despite constitutional protection in India. And they have been not only the caste system, like how in the Hindu that the Dalits have faced, and they have gone through an extreme discrimination that they are still facing, and similar to the Muslims, that how we have been also discriminated last many years, that how we have been facing the challenges in the Bharatiya Janata Party regime, and Dalit and the Hindu caste system have gone through a tremendous hardship that they have seen. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. My another question is that we don't know that much about hierarchies Muslim society because it's always assumed be classless. Does marginalization play out differently when it comes to hierarchies in India Muslims?
This is all more, I would say, how it's projected and all. It's been different sections, it's been different groups that because of their job that they do, and because of the work that they have been doing, that how they have been labeled. But the Muslims are now, it's lower, that in the Hindu, that lower caste is Dalit, and Muslim status has gone beyond and lowest to that. And their education system, if you see that how they are in the workplace, how they have been discriminated there, and the job opportunities, how their businesses have been condemned to that level, that they are open statements from the leaders of the Bharatiya Janata Party, that they have been openly delivering the hate speeches, and they have been telling to condemn the businesses and how they have killed because of this beef thing, that they have literally killed and completely taken their work and their bread and butter that they were dependent on totally, the Muslim community, and that called the Quraysh caste, that they were dealing with the meat distributions and that we had. So it has become a big issue, how they are treating the Muslims, how the things have been discriminated. This has been a lot in the BJP regime.
Okay, thank you. Another question, a lower caste Muslim compared to middle class Muslim, are they at the risk for communal violence?
The communal violence, like nationwide, you can see the clashes broke out, and in last 8 years, there are different states killing hundreds of Muslims and blaming Muslims for everything. And there are rape cases, there are Muslim women destroyed, Muslim businesses, places of worship, plus random attacks on Muslims that they have been. So in between, the Muslims forget how they have been. They don't have a chance to even claim themselves are Muslims now, freely to do and openly to promote their identity, to tell them that we are Indian Muslims. They are scared even to anywhere, even to tell their names. And that kind of a safety issue has become like, it has become like a more, not internally to have support from the different levels of as a Muslims, but it is more have become a survival issue in India. It has become more like how as Indian Muslim that you are able to survive and you are able to have, you can save your life or you can protect your family there.
Okay, thank you. As a last question, how would you express yourself, or how would you express Muslim community in India, and exactly what is being Muslim in India?
This is definitely a question that it has created a lot of insecurity in us. We are scared for our family members in India. We are definitely feel very scared for our family members. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the ruling Bharatiya Janata Party, which has pursued a Hindu nationalist agenda. The actions of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the ruling party have sought to curtail the rights and freedoms of Muslims. So the rights of live, equality, freedom, expression, and the right to voice opposition against injustice are being restricted to Indian Muslims. So it has become definitely a very scary situation for us, and the safety has become a major issue for the Indian Muslims.
Okay, thank you so much for your comprehensive answers.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Geneva Times, United